Okay, everybody, welcome to the Indie Artist Spotlight. We are featuring husband and wife hip hop duo, Riders Against the Storm. Not only do they educate, they inspire and inform. I had an opportunity to meet with them on the telephone a few days ago to speak to them about their work. My favorite songs, Energy and Danger Zone. We'll feature them today. Hey there, how are you today?
I'm doing really well. How are you?
Okay, I am absolutely fabulous. Everybody, we're speaking to J Bro and Tiger Lily. I'm just so excited about you guys. I have been looking at just about everything I could find, or listening to just about everything I could find related to you guys. And I just want to say that I think that the thing that I've seen recently that made the most impact on me was Ghetto People. Please tell me about that. Now, the footage that I saw was you, J Bro, and Tiger Lily out performing this song. I think it was in 2007, where you actually performed the song. I was blown away by it. Please do tell us more about Ghetto People.
Well, basically, especially that performance that you saw, we did at the season opening of a comedy show that we created called In-House Freestyle. And In-House Freestyle was a comedy group that we created for the community, and it was issues and different variety acts that we would put together that brought about different things that were relevant to the community at the time. And Ghetto People we wrote because oftentimes there's a negative connotation connected to the ghetto. It's ghetto, you're trying to put a hanger on your TV, you're so ghetto, there's like 6 people in your car, that's so ghetto. So anyway, there's always this negative connotation, but if you really understand the ghetto, you realize that that's the bedrock of a lot of innovation. A lot of major industries come and take their ideas from the ghetto, they take their trends from the ghetto, and it's actually a highly empowered place because there are people that are making billions of dollars off the ghetto. So instead of looking at it as a disempowered place, it's actually a very empowered place, but it's all in how we perceive it, receive it, and take charge of it.
Okay, now you know what? I'm going to tell you, Tiger Lily, you two are incredible. Your way of life, your ideas, the initiative that you actually put forth are so very contrary to what we're hearing or what we see in the mainstream, yet you have such a large following. Tell us your story. How did you find this niche?
Well, I think just by being ourselves, I think people are actually tired of the mainstream and tired of being fed pop, bubblegum nonsense. I mean, how many songs are we going to write about going to the club? How many songs are we going to write about having sex? I mean, and there's only one type of sex. It's not really like very romantic. It's just kind of like, just let's go back from the club and have sex type of relationships. So I think people will respond to us because we are speaking to their reality, and we speak to a lot of different realities. We don't just talk about things that we've just necessarily experienced. We try to listen to what's going on out there and try to, give it back to people in a way that, is going to be celebratory, but also, make them think a little bit. Everybody that hears our music is really, the word that we get back is refreshing. They keep saying it's so refreshing, and they thank us for doing what we're doing, so it's encouraging. But again, we have to find a way to reach more people with this, because the way people are responding to it is gonna catch on if we can get a wider audience to our music.
I'd like to have our audience listeners or our members to have a real idea about how you actually found hip hop. How did you make it to this place? What inspired you to begin a career in music?
Well, I mean, I think we both come from families who have a great appreciation for art. I always grew up, my grandmother was a singer. My family is Haitian Caribbean. So it's very natural for music, melodies, colors, poetry to just infiltrate the house, filter through the house, storytelling, all of those things were constant in my home. And then on top of that, I was born in Brooklyn, New York in 1982. And I actually mentioned that in our rhymes. There's a song called Reminisce where John and I talk about how we both fell in love with hip-hop, what it was exactly, the stories, the moments growing up that drew us in and called us to it. And, it was definitely something my mother was not happy about me getting into at first. When I was young, I was a very young lady. The folks that she saw were very rough and tumble guys in Brooklyn getting into that music. So it was like, oh no, that's not for a young, proper Caribbean girl. But obviously with the way hip hop allowed itself to expand before the industry kind of put a cap on pretty much regulated what hip-hop was, it flowered into all of these beautiful types of expression. All these different beautiful women were doing hip-hop. And then the Fugees came along, and there was this Haitian group who was doing all these fantastic things, breaking all sorts of boundaries. Not a Haitian group, but the, two members of it were Haitian. And then on top of that, it was Lauryn Hill, and she had this wonderful demeanor, and she was beautiful, and she represented something wonderful. And when she saw that, she was like, oh, well, this must not be what I thought it was, because it's receiving all of this wonderful accolade. So that was a gateway for me. But before that, it was just like, when my mom went to work, my brother and I would turn on the box or turn on MTV or BET or Rap City when we came home from school. And we would listen to that, and we would take it in, and we would memorize the lines, and our friends would compare this and that. And, did you hear about this? Have you seen this video yet? Oh, did you check this verse out? And it just became this thing that totally engulfed you because it revitalized you, it energized you, like any type of ceremony in any culture does. And hip-hop is that for me.
And J. Bro?
Basically, it was like a friend to me, because it was something I could turn to that could teach me. My love for it just comes from just what it taught me. I remember, similar to this lane, just, listening to the music and just getting so much from it, getting so much energy from it. I mean, I was born and raised in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, so, I wasn't anywhere near the epicenter of where it really took off, but, I mean, I just remember watching these brothers, on TV and just seeing what they were doing, and I just wanted to be a part of it. And then there was the excitement of just, like, figuring it out, like, because there's so much depth to it, so much beauty to it. It's like, you can watch it and I guess try to like mimic it, which I think a lot of people do, but then you can also like really get into it and explore it and really have it teach you anything that you want to learn. It got me into jazz music. It got me into different forms of art. I mean, graffiti got me into different forms of art. The breakdancing let me learn about the capoeira and other dance styles. I mean, it just goes on and on and on, the depth of this culture. And, unfortunately, we only get one side of it most of the time, which is the rapper. It's not even the MC anymore, which is the master of ceremonies. You just get a rapper who just stands on stage and raps at you and doesn't really, isn't really trying to build any bond between himself and the audience. And, but it was just a magical thing for me, just watching people that look like me, talking about things that I just felt connected to. And at the time, there's a lot of Afrocentricity to it, which just really inspired me as a young person. I used to make little gifts and things for people with, little African medallions and stuff. And that was all based off of what I was seeing on the TV and what I was being taught by groups like Jungle Brothers, Tribe Called Quest, X-Clan, Public Enemy, Poor Righteous Teachers. Even Slick Rick. All these folks, had some element of Afrocentricity to them. And when I started linking in and started paying attention to it, so I was just attracted to me. I don't know, Africa, its roots has always been attractive to me. That's just part of my spirit. I just inherited that somehow. So, that's what really got me into hip hop. And then, started writing when I was probably like 11 or 12. I'm an artist as well. I'm a graphic artist as well. So I remember when a friend from across the street brought a like a graffiti drawing home. And I used to look at the graffiti when I was walking around in the neighborhood and stuff, and in other neighborhoods when I was a kid. But I vividly remember when a youth from across the street brought a graffiti art like page that he had gotten from somebody else, and I just kept it and I just tried to like master what was on that page. And I don't know, it was just the beauty of it really that just brought me into it.
What was the first song that you two wrote together and performed together?
I think it was either Love Joint or Spiritual War. Actually, our first show together was opening up for a group called Dead Prayers, who actually 10 years ago released an album called Let's Get Free, which is a very influential album for us as well as artists at the time when it came out. Oh yeah, it might have been Journeys. There's a song called Journeys that I think might have been our first song, and it's Poor Men Be On Journeys and Kings Be On Journeys and We Be On Journeys, We the Riders. And that was the hook. And I can't even remember my verse or anything like that. But you know, I think that was probably the first song. It was called Journeys. And here we are, still on this journey.
Now, how did you meet? I find it interesting. I'd love to have some kind of career where I could have my man with me, working together, creating together. How did you meet?
We just got to thank the Creator, the Most High, you know, and for allowing us or giving us the strength to be able to follow our hearts, because I ended up staying in Providence. I had a bunch of opportunities to leave Providence after graduating from Brown University in 1999, and ultimately that led to me meeting Ghislaine. Although I've been told, and sometimes I feel like we would have met anyway, somewhere in this journey, but I think that it was solidified by me staying there, because I didn't know her after I decided to stay. But a few years later down the road, because she was still in high school or graduating from high school, I think, when I was graduating from college, so she's a little bit younger than I am. But we met, basically, I was doing community organizing. I was organizing around education, fighting against truancy courts in the schools, and trying to get students free bus passes across the district in Providence, and fighting police brutality, and all types of things at this organization called Direct Action for Rights and Equality. So I was working with youth there, teaching them how to organize for their rights, and also at that time performing on various stages, whether it be theater or poetry stages and the spoken word stuff. And that's actually how we met. Ghislaine was just getting involved in Providence, community when I met her, but once she found out about stuff, she just threw herself in it. She was all over the place. Everywhere I went, she was there. In 2003, we had that chance to open up for Dead Prayers. It was a contest that we entered into. We wrote our first 3 songs together and entered the contest, and I think that kind of solidified us being around each other even more. We came together basically through the love of hip-hop, through the love of community, the love of working with kids, and our relationship developed out of that.